Chris Pratt, long known for his charismatic action-oriented performances in blockbuster franchises, has stepped into markedly different territory with his latest project, a gripping sci-fi thriller titled Mercy. In this film, Pratt takes on the role of Chris Raven, a homicide detective thrust into a nightmarish scenario where he is accused of murdering his own wife. The plot centers on a high-stakes race against time. Raven has only 90 minutes to prove his innocence before an advanced artificial intelligence judge delivers a death sentence. This premise blends elements of courtroom drama, psychological tension, and futuristic technology, creating a narrative that demands far more emotional depth than Pratt's typical roles. The film's director, Timur Bekmambetov, spoke candidly about Pratt's performance during the movie's premiere in New York City. Bekmambetov highlighted how this project allowed Pratt to reveal a raw and vulnerable dimension that audiences rarely see. He noted that viewers are accustomed to Pratt portraying tough, entertaining, larger-than-life characters, often with a humorous edge or physical prowess. In Mercy, however, the actor portrays someone who is broken, emotionally exposed, and deeply human. This shift, according to the director, made Pratt's work stand out as unique and surprising, even to those who had worked closely with him. One scene in particular drew praise from Bekmambetov as the emotional pinnacle of the film, a final, intense conversation between Pratt's character and his wife. Described as raw, painful, and profoundly moving, the exchange strips away any pretense of toughness, forcing the audience to confront the character's inner turmoil. The director emphasized that Pratt delivered this moment with unexpected dramatic intensity, defying expectations based on his action hero reputation. This vulnerability became a cornerstone of the performance, transforming what could have been a standard thriller into something more introspective and affecting. Adding to the physical and emotional realism, much of Pratt's screen time in Mercy involves him being confined to a chair during the trial proceedings. This setup stands in sharp contrast to the elaborate stunts and dynamic movements seen in his previous films. Pratt reportedly requested to be physically restrained during filming to enhance authenticity, allowing the resulting sense of claustrophobia and helplessness to inform his portrayal. By immersing himself in that discomfort, he stayed grounded in the character's desperate emotional state, channeling real feelings of confinement into his acting. To further prepare for the role, Pratt spent time with real-life LAPD homicide detectives. These interactions provided him with invaluable insights into the realities of police work, the high-pressure decisions, the emotional toll of investigating violent crimes, and the trauma that officers often carry. Pratt has spoken about how these experiences deepened his respect for law enforcement professionals and helped him portray the psychological weight his character bears. Understanding the daily challenges faced by detectives allowed him to infuse his performance with nuance and credibility, elevating the film beyond mere entertainment. Bekmambetov's direction played a key role in drawing out this side of Pratt. By focusing on character-driven moments amid the sci-fi elements, the filmmaker created space for emotional authenticity. The AI judge aspect introduces philosophical questions about justice, technology, and human fallibility, but the heart of the story lies in Raven's personal struggle, grief, accusation, and the fight to reclaim his truth. Pratt's willingness to embrace vulnerability in such a confined, introspective role marks a notable evolution in his career, showing his range as an actor capable of dramatic depth. The premiere reactions underscored the impact of this performance. Attendees and critics alike noted how Mercy differs from Pratt's usual fare, praising the way it humanizes him on screen. For an actor who has built a brand around likability and physicality, choosing a project that demands emotional nakedness represents a bold artistic choice. It allows audiences to see him in a new light, as someone who can convey pain, fear, and fragility just as convincingly as he handles action sequences. The film's themes resonate in a contemporary context where technology increasingly intersects with justice systems. The concept of an AI rendering verdicts raises questions about bias, empathy, and the irreplaceable human element in legal proceedings. Pratt's character, caught in this mechanized process, embodies the terror of losing agency and facing irreversible consequences. His vulnerability becomes a lens through which viewers explore these broader ideas, making the thriller intellectually engaging as well as emotionally charged.